Has the Lion squad for the third test of the tour been leaked early? I think it has. Let's check it out. So, first up, from the Rugby Inside Line, the last time they gave out information like this, it was 100% spot on. So I am inclined to believe that this might be true. But looking at the squad, very, very powerful squad, obviously making a very big change. And we have Genge coming in, starting. I think he by far has been the best loosehead prop for the Lions. He's just been absolutely dominant. But then we are seeing Sheehan and Furlong partnering him with that. We are seeing Ty Burn drop back into the number 5 role and partner Maro Itoje, with Curry, Morgan, and Earl getting all starts in the back row. Gibson Park, Russell, once again, as always, very consistent. Hopefully they have a better game than what they did in the last in the second test, but only time will tell for that. We are then seeing Kinghorn at 11, Freeman at 14. Honestly, James Lowe's performance in the last game was subpar. It was below what we've seen from him all year whenever he has played. And it was a real shock to see a performance like that. I thought he was quite possibly the worst player on the pitch in the second test. But then we are seeing Tuipulotu, Hugh Jones, Hugh Pelutu partnership, dominant as ever. Really, really looking forward to seeing this. And then Keenan at 15. So very much a dominant Scotland back row. It's going to be interesting to see, how this does play. Obviously, we do have Russell, Kinghorn, Tuipulotu, and Jones. Very good partnership. Absolutely, absolutely brilliant. And then, it's going to be interesting to see how this forward pack, how the forwards are going to play up against these Wallabies, because there's been a big change. The last game showed a truly defiant, a truly dangerous Australia side. Suali'i being an absolute attacking monster. Yes, he does need to work a lot on his defense, but going forward, he is so scary. Same thing with players like Jorgensen as well, who really caused an absolute nightmare for the Lions. But, not only that, we had Rob Valentini, who was just taking heads. He has to start for the Wallabies in the next game. Same thing for Will Skelton. Big players. He was so dominant. He really caused the Lions a lot of issues. And I think if the Wallabies were to play their full strength squad, I seriously don't understand why Taniela Tupou is not in that squad. I think there might be some politics at hand there, but there are so many players that could potentially be playing for the Wallabies that I think they need to start. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what kind of team and how much they're going to be willing to change the squad for this third Lions test. Obviously, the Lions have already won the series. It's more just going to be for the sheer fact of just getting something under their name, not to get a complete whitewash. The Lions are going to be pushing for that whitewash, but looking at the squad, it's a pretty strong squad. It's a very mobile squad as well. When you look at the likes of Curry, Morgan, and Earl, very good runners with the ball. Morgan, brilliant when it comes to cleanouts, apparently. But Morgan is an absolute beast. He deserves a proper start. Same thing with Curry, putting in amazing performances. I think bagging himself 2 tries as well. But this Aussie side is going to be coming prepared. They're going to be coming in hot, and they're going to be coming very, very physical. So I think if this is true, we are going to be seeing a very much a kicking dominated game. They are going to be going again for those up and unders. They're going to try and gain as much territory as possible and try to use Finn Russell's kicking to their best advantage. Hopefully this time he is better between the sticks as well. But big performances are going to need to be had in order for the Lions to get this whitewash. It's a possibility. Will the Aussies lie down and just take it? Hell no. They are going to make sure that they are just tooth, nail, going to be fighting for everything. But honestly, Genge, I think Genge is going to play a very, very big part. He's so dominant, especially as a prop, as a Lucy. The guy, he's so dominant. I went into this tour thinking Andrew Porter, he's going to have that prop spot nailed down. Is the complete opposite. in my opinion, Genge has been the shining light for the props. He's been so dominant. He's just in every single game that he's played, even when he's come on, he's just looked good. He's just looked phenomenal. He's so strong. He's just everything you could want as a prop in terms of big tackles, scrummaging, just getting himself around the park. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then obviously Sheehan is just Dan Sheehan, the best hooker in world rugby right now. But I want to know what you guys think. Can the Lions go for a complete whitewash? I mean, even then, I missed the subs. So we go George, Porter, Stewart, Chesham, Pollock, White, Marcus Smith, and then Mac Hansen. Honestly, I was expecting Mac Hansen to get a bit of game time to start over Tommy Freeman. Even Tommy Freeman didn't exactly have the best of games last time out. But interesting not to see any form of Finn Smith. Marcus getting the nod in terms of that. I'd love to see Pollock come on as well. He's just that energizer bunny. He's just Duracell, constantly going, full of energy, that burst. And, I think they are potentially going to end up using him for the second half just to get that extra oomph, that extra kick in. Especially if the game's tight, bringing on someone like Henry Pollock can change the outlay of the game. But then the same thing with Jamie George. Jamie George, absolutely brilliant when it comes down to hooker. Would you choose him over Dan Sheehan? Hell no. But good as a replacement, 100%. And then Porter and Stewart, who honestly, I was kind of expecting them to nail down their spots as a permanent Lions, as the front row. I was expecting Porter, Sheehan, and Stewart to be the dominant pairing for the front pack, but I was wrong with that. But anyway, guys, hopefully this is true. I think this is a pretty good squad. This is some good rotation. But who the hell is leaking this information if it actually is true? Anyways, please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.